Hello, everybody. This is Preston Poulter here with Pocket Jacks Comics. And tonight, very exciting stuff. I am really amped. For one, I looked at my interactions and I saw that this writer's stream already had a downvote before I even hit the go live button. So I wanted to give a welcome to everybody out there in the audience and the one hater. Thanks for stopping in. But tonight is the conclusion to our writing contest. So,
Sorry.
There we go. All right. Thank you, John.
John boomered.
Exactly.
Yeah, I forgot.
So tonight is the exciting conclusion to, well, at least the declare the winner part of the contest. But then the hard work begins, because then we got to go and hook you up with an artist that you kind of like the style on. And that's tough because, again, the winner gets $2,000 from me. Although I'm not going to give it to you, I'm going to give it to your artist upon completion of work, because I don't want like you guys to just take the money and go thanks. No, it's like the work has to be there.
Take the money and run.
Yeah, I have to make a point and say no. A book did get produced, so yeah.
Preston, so don't worry about the car I'm starting, and why I have a map to Indiana. Just give me the money.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, but so and in part, what your budget decision is going to be like. Okay, well, I'm kicking in a couple of grand, but are you going to kick in some of your own money so that we can get like a really good artist, or do we need to find an artist who's going to be able to do the whole book on that budget? So those are some discussions we're gonna, you're basically going to have to make. So because I'm going to honor my commitments, and you're the creator of this whole shebang. And speaking of, I have invited on a guy whose idea was first pitched here on my writer stream for Isadora and the Immortal Chains. And Darth Lunga has been sent an invite via Twitter. He's welcome to come on if he so chooses. His reply so far was a gracious thank you, which I appreciate, but that didn't tell me a yes or a no. But
he's back. He's saying he's backstage.
Yeah. Oh, he is? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because all I see is Doodle Squish After Dark.
In the chat.
Oh, never mind. That other chat. Hello, everybody.
I was going to say, I'm here. Thank you.
Hey, okay, awesome. Welcome, Darth.
Hey, Darth, congrats.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you
It's
very much.
going strong.
Man, I was backer number 4, I think.
Oh, nice.
On Isadora. And for a minute there, I was like, ooh, this may not go too well. Because like in the first hour, you'd only had like around 100 or like between 50 and 100 or something. But then I guess like your email list caught in or whatever. And then it just like, I checked like 2 hours later and you're over 600. I'm like, oh, well, he's going to be okay.
His mom probably checked her email.
Yeah. My mom.
Like, oh.
Yeah, she kicked in that $1,000 to get it going. No.
There you go.
Sent all of her friends at the knitting club.
Oh, I wish my mom would do that kind of stuff. And it's not even, they're immigrants, so no. It's like comic books. What's this crap? So no.
Tell us about it. I mean, because so the last time we checked in with you was what, a couple of months ago or 3 months ago. Okay, yeah. So I mean, really, you I got to say that's really fast to take an idea from just a pitch stage to a book. And the book's done, I'm guessing?
Yep. Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
All the pencil and ink is completely done. Coloring's it's a 24-page book. Coloring's done up to page 20.
Okay.
And the lettering's pretty much all done too to put on there. So the book is done.
Okay.
He's gonna polish it off in the next couple days. I mean, I wanted to have it completely done by launch, but
right.
So it's done. There's no chance of it not being finished. And like I said, when we first started talking about the book, when I was on here pitching the idea, I mean, I already planned on doing this. I did join the contest, initially, which I'm like, well, this is fun. It's fun. Get to meet people, talk people, get name out. You know what I mean?
Regardless of whether we got married or never spoke again, right. The process of taking an idea and pitching it and receiving criticism is valuable, I think.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. Very, very, very valuable. I mean, all that did help get it to where it's at now, as far as writing it, going through it. I hired an editor, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
Even after I finished it, I had an editor look through it, and then we worked together and polished the script. And then I found.
What did she think of the script format that you picked up here?
Oh, when I told her, that's honestly the one thing I got to thank you for above all else is that writer's duet. That writer's duet is
really handy, right?
Oh my god! Oh my god! I mean,
Yeah.
just as far as being a writer and writing the novel and stuff like that, it's like writing a comic book and having all those, page one, character names, panel 1, panel 2. Taking that out of typing that in cuts the time in half of writing the script. You know what I mean? All the formatting. So that is a time saver to heck. As a writer, all I got to worry about now is my dialogue and my captions and my settings, and that's it. Everything else is there. So it's an amazing thing. I showed her that.
If anybody out there in the audience is like, that sounds great, I want some, it's writerduet.com. And the guy who created it is named Guy Goldstein, and he kind of does his own tech support. And he gave me a discount code, which I believe is PJC20, which will give you 20% off if you decide.
And it code works because I used it when I got mine. And if you guys want to play with it too, you can actually use it and play with it without paying for it. You just need to pay for it if you want to export the PDF and send it out. But if you want to try it and play with it, you can do that for free without even having to pay for it.
Wait, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Sure.
You saying it automatically generates the panels?
Yeah, there's a little button on the side, and you click panel, and then it'll go panel 2. And the great thing about it is the computer keeps the numbering.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put a bunch of panels on a page, the computer will number it 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you just grab panel 3 and just erase it, you don't like it, the computer will renumber it.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And when we're talking about putting panels on a page, by the way, Hope for Truth, it's not the artist panel. It's not the squares and the boxes or whatever. It's for the writer to the setup for each panel, the captions, whatever. It's the script form of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that sounds like it might be better than Final Draft.
I think it's way better than Final Draft. I mean, that's why I switched, because Darth has experienced the same thing now. One, it's all right. Final Draft and really all those will be roughly the same user experience. They'll all have hotkeys which we'll put in, like slug lines or whatever. So there's some time savers, and they'll have the format generated with the hotkey, and you're pretty much going to get that most anywhere. But what Writer Duet does that the others don't do is it allows for, Darth's working with an editor, and he can give her the link, and then you're corresponding in real time.
Right. Similar to how Google Docs work. If you're doing Google Docs, you can share it, they can collaborate, right? It does the same thing, but it's in script format. Because it was the same thing. My editor, she's like, oh, just send me a Word doc and I'll annotate like you do with a classical editor. You send them the Word doc and they do the annotations and send it back to you. I'm like, have you tried Writer's Duet? She's like, no. So I sent her the Word doc first just to get to read it and get started. And she's like, all right, now let's try the Writer's Duet. And she's like, oh my God, this thing's awesome. I'm like, yeah. So we were just sitting there on each of our computers, and I could see the edit that's happening, and a bubble would pop up next to what she's doing, and I would respond, and I would make the correction while she's still editing, and she could see what I'm correcting while she's continuing to edit. So it was a very fluid process.
Awesome. Well, fantastic. And go ahead.
And according to BackerKit, you're on track to fund and then some.
Yeah. I did sign up for the BackerKit, and because I needed that too. I was positive about the campaign. I'm like, I felt this was a strong enough book, and I've done a strong enough marketing and pre-marketing for it to hit the goal, at least in the 30 days. So, that was going into it. I was modestly expecting, hey, if I can get $500, in the first 24 hours, that'd be great. We blew that away. I mean, we're almost 40% funded after 2 days. This is what we've talked about this before, Preston. I've been on here. It's if you don't believe in your book, no one else is going to believe in your book. Mm-hmm. We put aside obviously it's got to have good writing, it's got to have good artwork. We understand that, but first and foremost, you got to have a confidence in the work, because if you don't, no one else will. So I'm going to talk about it as much as I can. I'll talk about wherever I can. I'll tweet it out. I do have a YouTube show. It's not a huge channel. I'm 1,000 subscribers, but that helps. At least I have some kind of exposure to talk to people about it. So I do have a little base, and I did have an email list already from my novel. So I had a base email list from there. And you got to spend money. Right? That's why Preston was talking about doing this contest to get people started, because I know everyone loves that dream of doing an Indiegogo and spending $0 and then having $30,000 campaign and suddenly you have $30,000 to create a comic book.
Right.
While that does happen, that is not really the reality for everybody. You gotta put your own money in, and yeah, it sucks and it's a risk, but that's what being creative is being a risk. And I've already invested, if we're talking just the artists, the sequential artist Alper Geckel, who I found from a Facebook group, that Connecting Comic Artists with Writer group. He's from Turkey, 23-year-old guy, fantastic.
Awesome. Okay.
And then I was in another Discord group with Jimmy Reyes on Page One Comics, and I found Samantha Branch to do one of the variant covers, and Mark Goldfein and Sarah Perryman to do another cover. So just between the covers, the sequential arts, and the logo design, I'm already $3,000, into this. Right. So I spent that money, and that's not counting marketing dollars, which I don't. As much as I would like the campaign to pay for marketing dollars, I don't put that upon my backers. It's like, I'm marketing this because I'm trying to get you here. Right. So, I don't count that as part of the budget. That to me, that's my vig to get this going. So there's marketing dollars on top of that. So I focus it. I had my email list already with my book. So it was a small base there. I had about 2,000 people on there. And then I ran a Facebook ad. I did a contest. I gave away Cthulhu swag. If you run a contest that's, similar to what you're putting out, to where you can get those interests, and you create that Facebook ad. And there's an art to these Facebook ads, which I still haven't mastered, but there's an art to it to do these Facebook ads. But it's not a ton of money. The contest was the prize pack was like $150. The ads cost me about $150. So it was like $300, and that got me another 2,000 emails for the list. And then you start blasting out the emails. Right. And then, you go to your Twitter and you go on shows and you do this, and you want to do that, a month, 2 months before the book even comes out. You want to get the name in people's heads before the Kickstarter even goes out. If you go out there dry, I mean, everyone knows that ends badly. If you do something dry, and in any platform you're talking about, going in dry is not going to help. But yeah, so that's the important thing. And if I would tell anyone here, whoever the winner is, congratulations, you have a great start, because most people do not have $2,000 handed to them to get it going. But I would suggest, even if you win it, whoever the winner is, put your money in with this $2,000, because you're going to need it. Let's just put it that way. That money, that $2,000, we're talking minimum just to get the art. You haven't even gotten to marketing yet at that point.
Exactly. And I see you have embraced the power of variant covers.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell people, like, look, if you don't embrace variant covers, it's like trying to do the Indianapolis 500 without gasoline. Like, it's just
exactly. I mean, but this started back in the 90s, right? Because the Image comic guys, the McFarlanes and the Layfield, they were all about all those variant. That Spider-Man 1 had 6 covers? Yeah. Different, and the normies or the oldies at the time were like, what's this guy with these 6 covers? This Spider-Man with his knee over his head. What's this garbage? He'll never succeed. Yeah. Where are we now? So yeah, it's important.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, I hope that you picked up a few things here which allowed you to make more money down the road. So.
I mean, listen, everything's a learning process, and even if there's bumps with people, or you learn whatever. It's always a learning experience, no matter where you're at. I mean, you're going to learn something. And yeah, of course I learned things. I had, just going through the script, I had other eyes on it, with you and Vicky and other people looking at it. And it, it made me make some changes to the script based on that. So yeah, of course, everything is always valuable, and there's always a learning experience in everything you do.
Fantastic. All right. Let everybody know what they can pick up. Go ahead and plug the book, and then we'll go on.
Yeah, certainly. So it's up on Kickstarter right now. Here, I'll share the page if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so it's up on Kickstarter right now. The story, it's called Isidore and the Immortal Chains. Basically, think Silver Surfer meets Lovecraft meets Constantine. It's that kind of mashup. So it takes some of the lore or mythology, in the Lovecraft kind of universe, and kind of mashes together with a superhero verse, something I call the Lovecraftian dark hero verse. So she's basically was a servant, a herald to the King in Yellow, and she's found a way to put him into hibernation and now come to Earth to help save humanity from itself and maybe regain her own humanity in the process. And there's going to be some interesting plot development with her and other characters, and some human characters. And while I'm trying to keep this more because a lot of Lovecraft stuff, it's a lot of despair and hopelessness. Obviously,
Right.
they don't end well. That's the classic thing. So with this, I want it to be not necessarily not end well, but it's going to be kind of a bittersweet kind of thing every time something happens, to where there's a little bit more hope than you usually see in Lovecraft, but at the same time, there's still a lot of crap. It's like, yeah, we can't win, and some stuff, So I'm trying to put that in there. So I'm trying to take that, the optimism you see in the superhero universe and the pits of despair in the Lovecraft universe, and kind of put them together, and make that kind of transgressive character that a lot of people like.
Fantastic. All right. Well, 28 days left, and go ahead and tell everybody about the different covers. So I know, is George Alexopoulos one of them, right?
George Alexopoulos, he wasn't a cover; he did a pinup.
Okay.
The one his is the very first concept, if you will. Now the characters evolved since then, so it's a little different than one George did, but it's still a spectacular pinup. And that's actually going to be one of the stretch goals. It's going to be a pinup for that one. This one here, the early bird special, which is you have until, if you pledge before 10 a.m. tomorrow, you get an 8x10 pinup of the manga inspired one done by Red Leaf off of Twitter. So you get this pinup as an 8x10 for the early bird special. Then when there's a ton of tiers. These are the artists, Alper Geckel, the colorist, Serkan Serkaya. That was my editor, Elizandor. And then we have Samantha Branch did one of the variant covers, and Mark Goldfein and Sarah Perryman did the other two. And here's some of the pages that we have from Alper. We got the first 5 pages up in the campaign. And then when we go to the tiers, you guys can see some of the covers, which are amazing. So this is the main cover that Alper did, the sequential artist for the inside of the book. And then we have the Sarah Branch cover, which is kind of my poster child, if you will, for the campaign. I love all 3 covers, and I love all 3 artists. Hers just the way she's walking and the way she's posed, it just looks like the perfect poster child to promote it, to put it out there for people to see it. Her eyes, she's looking right at you, she's grabbing you, and that's why I decided to use that as the poster child. Then this is the Mark Goldfein cover with Sarah Perryman. And then we have a bunch of different bundles where you can get 1, 2, or all 3 of them. Then there's the collector's pack. I also have a limited, it's only 20 backers can get this tier. It's the Goldfein cover, and there's going to be 11x17 print. And this is only limited to 20 backers.
Yeah, so I had a question about that.
Yeah.
And since I am a backer, I'm going to let you pitch me on it, and maybe I'll upgrade it. But I didn't really understand what you put there. I understood that in the software, you told Kickstarter, limit the number of backers to 20 at this particular tier.
Correct.
But is there anything in that tier that is a only 20 of edition?
The poster.
Okay. Now, look, I'm not here to beat you up, but that's totally cool. But a lot of times posters, you want to put them on a wall, but if it's collectible, well, you don't really put it on a wall, and
well, you frame it.
Yeah, right. I guess you could frame it. Yeah. So, all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
The thing is, I really love Mark's art. He's going to be doing several people which he's going to be doing work on Dragon Rage with Jimmy Reyes as well. To me, this is me banking on a person who I think is an awesome person, an awesome artist, and someone who I think is going to be big in the coming years. He's going to be spectacular. So I think, you know what? Why not put this out there for the people who do know him, especially people in the Discord group that love his artwork and love this? They can hop onto this. So you know what? In the future, we're talking about collectability, right? When Mark Goldfein's name becomes big, I have a limited tier print of the cover that he did for Isadora, and the book itself, his cover is also limited as far as it's going to be a Kickstarter only variant. Meaning after this Kickstarter, there'll be no print runs of that cover.
Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thanks for coming in, Lunga, and congratulations on your success. And what I like to think, like a year from now or something, is that I'm going to end up with kind of a rep, because there will be a number of people out there. There's going to be you. There's going to be the contest winner. There's despite whatever differences in recent drama have come out there, Mecca wants to take the character of Arthur Byrne, and he wants to make a book with him. I feel like there's a lot of passionate, motivated people here that, if a year from now we're looking at 4 or 5 different books that have all been created, successfully funded, distributed, happy customers, I think that's quite a feat, particularly for a channel that's only got like 1,000 subs. So
I mean, at the end of the day, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Even if there's people I don't agree with or don't like, I have never once of anyone said, I wish your project fails.
right,
You know, I mean, I don't want anyone's project to fail. You know what I mean? Now, if I think they're doing something that's underhanded or something that's cheating the customer, we can point those things out.
right,
But it doesn't mean I wish you the worst. I wish you to fail. No.
right.
If you're putting your book out and you're honest when you're putting your book out and you're delivering and giving it to your customers, I don't care if you hate me and I hate you. I still want your book to succeed.
Right.
Because the customers, you know, the people reading it are the ones that are going to suffer if it doesn't. Not me. Not not it's,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the most important thing, you know, and I wish, you know, anyone that's got a project out there, as long as you're being honest with your backers, most success to everybody and good luck to everybody who's putting anything out.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in.
No problem, man. I will back out then. You guys, good luck. Congratulations to the winner. I'll hang out in the chat and find out what's going on. Good luck to everybody in the contest.
All right. Awesome.
Good luck with your campaign, Darth.
Thank you.
And interesting introvert is whoever wins. Congratulations, for this writing and pitching process was helpful to watch, and that's all part of the exercise. Fantastic. All right, so we have Vicky. So let's go through the final entries. Who submitted a final script? What do we got?
Oh my gosh! Now you're gonna. Well, we had.
Well, John had one, right? I'll
yeah, the Wizard's Daughter by John Lamont.
So what did you think about that one?
Because
I mean, the audience, if you've been watching it a while, you already kind of know, the basic rundown. We've been over it a few times on the show, but
yeah, I grew to like the concept more as we went along,
okay.
And as he delivered pages. No offense, John. I thought the humor was good.
Right.
I like some of the changes that he made in the final draft.
What ended up being changed?
There were some just scenes of the magistrate collecting his tithe. Yeah, which were a fun addition.
Because I was like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, kind of more fun, like stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not quite Robin Hood Men in Tights, but Prince of Thieves is, I think, like just right on the fun scale.
I was thinking more Men in Tights on the fun scale.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, because it had a lot.
John had a lot of Men in Tights in mind when I wrote it.
You had Men in Tights in mind. Okay. Fair.
Yeah. It had a lot more comedic element to it than Prince of Thieves. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I did like those changes a lot. Are we doing pluses and minuses?
Yes, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, I still felt it lacked sort of a goal in that first issue. I mean, I get there was the heist and they run away. They connect, Zoe and Adam connect, but it still didn't quite do enough along the way. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of felt that too.
All right.
There we go. All right. Larry Holder had the Samuel Erebus comic book. That was another one born right here on the stream. So what do you think?
Primal Chaos. So let's call it by its title. I thought it was very well thought out. You could even though it got trimmed down from the beginning where it had, the big full-on angel fight.
Right.
It still made a lot of sense, and the lore of it was self-evident, especially with the nice little pop at the end.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed. And then we had go ahead.
Any notes?
I had talked to Larry about it. So and he chose not to take my advice, but it still turned out okay.
Yeah. Since I'm the only one on camera and everybody else is just an icon, like, how do I want to do this? And try and find a format where it's all right. Go ahead. Okay, and next is Tony.
Nobody wants to see my face. So.
All right. Tony S with Cat Kid.
Really, John, everybody wants to see mine, and I refuse. Cat Kid by Tony. I love Cat Kid. I think he is such a cool little character. I actually enjoyed the haunted house because he made some changes.
Okay.
Cut down that whole section in the police station, which worked really well.
Good. Okay.
Eliminating a lot of that worked really well and made it flow really well. But I did kind of like the haunted house fighting the ghost.
Awesome.
More than weird guy with strange drugs, but that's okay with the orange powder on his face. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then the last one would be Turbine.
Well, yeah, and also Testimony Jackson, who's never able to be on the show.
Yeah.
Did you read Testimony Jackson?
I did read Testimony Jackson. I had also they had pulled from the contest. I'd received a DM earlier in the day.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Never.
No,
Okay.
And then Turbine.
Right.
Which was still really fun. And action packed. And quite a bit happens in it, but I didn't see like the story didn't quite progress very far, and I don't know if that's just because you had talked about doing it in multiple pages and multiple issues, because you had said it was going to be you were planning a much bigger book than just the 24 pages.
Oh, sorry. There's Tony. Yes.
Yeah, headphones.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of the political stuff was still a little like weird, but it was a fun read.
Okay. All right. Well, without further ado, all right. Hold on. Let me drag it out a little bit. All right. I'll start with William Savage. You here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. You don't know who the winner is. I'm curious. You've heard all the pitches. You've sat through all the scripts. Which one do you think is the one that Vicky went with?
And like if it was my choice, I'd probably go with Turbine because the premise was pretty funny. So I'm probably thinking it's probably Angel of Darkness. Is that
okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. John, which one do you think she went with? John
he
Lamont.
muted himself.
Oh, sorry. Well, sometimes I think Tony, because Vicky seems to favor him a lot.
Yeah.
He never has anything not nice to say about Cat Kid.
Right.
So
I smell conclusions.
I would kind of lean in that direction, even from what he just said, because I mean, she didn't really have anything to say.
William is going with So John is saying Cat Kid. William is saying the Samuel Erebus Primal Chaos. What do you think, Moby?
Me, I would go with I keep forgetting the fantasy name of that book with the angels and demons.
That's Primal Chaos.
I think it would be that one. It's just
so we got 2 votes for Primal Chaos and 1 vote for Cat Kid. Right?
I wasn't voting for which one I think was the best. I was voting for which one I thought Vicky might go with.
You know what's amazing?
Because
amazing. All right, let's go ahead and tell him, Vicky. Vicky came back to me and said, there are 2 scripts I really like, which are Primal Chaos and Cat Kid. And out of those 2, Vicky, which one did you pick to win?
Primal Chaos.
Primal Chaos.
congratulations.
There you go.
I guess.
Wow.
Right, people.
Well deserved, Larry. Well deserved.
Yeah.
I got Native American in my
Thanks.
blood. I got sense.
And everybody's were really good. I'm not gonna. I can't say that any any one of them was horrible, because they weren't. They were all really good, and I enjoyed all of them for various different reasons. But I thought Larry put his was, it was more compact. He really progressed the story through, and he really understood what all the characters were about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also, you can't go wrong with Angels and Demons. Everyone loves Angels and Demons.
Yeah, and I look, from a producer point of view, that's an easy one to sell. You know, like Angels and Demons.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Especially now with this whole Corona thing, man. People need something with faith in it, man. Well, what would somebody do right now for Jesus to touch the water?
Exactly.
Yeah, so, I mean, also having angels as a main character is pretty cool, because most of that genre involves demons, because everyone thinks demons are cooler. So it's kind of cool seeing Angel take front and center.
Well, yeah. Demons can usually have more fun. I think that's why people usually pick them. But
Now, out of curiosity, Larry, I know you had asked me like a couple of weeks ago, or I think you read like one of the scripts for Guinevere 4 that it was run by the writing group.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you commented like that you had some idea or something for like Viviax to be involved in like the Heaven Hell War or something or other.
Yeah, I started.
Was Viviax or Guinevere going to make an appearance in there somewhere? I was just curious.
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
Viviax probably for sure, because it's easy to fit her into that whole thing, especially where I'm bringing the demons can interact with Earth and whatnot, and so that kind of came out of your story. I don't think I was actually going to have anything like that originally, so the whole second act of the book came out of that. Really
fantastic. Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad. On my Kickstarter today, I posted page 19 in inks, which here I'll just go ahead and show you guys. Because, why not? Let's look at some comic book art. That is what the show is about. Art and writing of comic books. So I posted this up on. By the way, I have also gone ahead and finalized the campaign for Guinevere 4. I call it the mega campaign, where I'm going to have all those beautiful variant covers by Jamie Tyndall and Miss Sashi and Whiskey Paint and Jinselman. I'm pulling out all the guns. That's why it's going to be the mega campaign. But there is now a link for that you can sign up down in the description. But here, let me show you the update I posted to the Make 100 campaign. Yeah, here we go. Come on. Share screen. How do I keep clicking the share screen button, but it don't do much. There we go. Okay. Tab. Boom. So here. So this was just an interior. If you watch the writer's stream enough, you probably remember when I presented these pages. But this is Viviax at the end of issue 3, having teleported Guinevere to the research plaza, and there's Eric the android, and Viviax is here in the back going, sorry, no refunds, and it disappears. And this was a note I got originally. She was eating popcorn, and people were like, no, she should be eating like souls or some kind of like worm-like things out of a skull. So now we got this worm-like thing out of a skull. But this artwork is like really sexy, and I got a lot of positive comments on it that were like, wow, that looks like Lady Death. So So, if you look down here in the comments, people are just like loving it, So Viviax is a cloud pleasing favorite. That's all I'm gonna say. So I think you made the right choice in terms of characters you should include in your heaven hell story. People, So anyway, but that's coming up. So all right, next, Larry, you and I we got to get down on we got to start putting the art team together. I did manage to salvage from the old wiki. I've created a new wiki over at pocketjackscomics.com where you, Larry, should go and put your character. And for that matter, so should everybody else. But Larry should particularly put his character since I'm paying money for his art and stuff. But the artist marketplace, I managed to port over. So there's a whole bunch of artists there and links. But you can also, if you want to, go and post to the Facebook group. I also go over that on the wiki, which is where Darth probably learned about it. You can go either to the Facebook group or over to the Reddit page, looking to collaborate. And, you post a link of, I got a paying gig and I'm looking for people, and you'll just be flooded by artists. So it is now upon you to do the work of going through and sifting and going, who do I really like? There was a guy on that artist page when I was putting it together. He charges like $45 for pencils, $65 if you want it pencil and ink. And I think this stuff's really good. So and that one fits right in the budget. So
that's good
to look through there. But
especially if you want to do black and whites for your story like yours, that black and white could be really visual in that way.
There's so much of it involves the color changes and
oh yeah,
like
I forgot about that. Totally.
The blue and the purple and all that.
Yeah.
Could go something like a Sin City route though. Just have
that would be
just a color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nasha Toby's doing something like that with Colton Crux. He's doing a book in color and he's doing one in black and white. And the black and white is gonna have just little bits of color. So like when the characters are casting magic, there'll be gold on the pages and stuff like that to signify it.
A lot of people in chat are saying, they were getting the Spawn vibe, which I was also kind of getting off of it. So and as I have said before on the show, look, people love Spawn. It's the longest running indie comic there is, right?
Technically, yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You're following in some great footsteps.
Yeah.
I was kind of more of a Ghost Rider fan compared to Spawn.
Okay.
All right. The aesthetic looks cooler.
All right. So, Vicky, are there any notes that you want to give him? I mean, he's one, but you could still go, you should really change this part. Or part you didn't quite like.
We kind of.
You told
Larry knows where to find me if he wants to.
Okay.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm hiding.
No.
Yeah. So right now, I can't. My brain's not really giving me anything right now.
I understand.
But if he has
Wow.
questions,
Okay.
he's more than happy to.
Larry, you got. That's a pretty hard judge there who just said, no, I really don't have any corrections.
No, just not right now. I mean,
all right, maybe later.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, awesome.
My brain's a little tired. I'm working on very little sleep, so.
Okay, fantastic.
I understand. Yeah.
I think that's more or less what I wanted to go over. I mean, we could actually review some pages, but I almost feel like, I don't know, that might be anticlimactic after the whole winter thing. And I just gotta say, there's been, drama stuff happening, but I feel really good today. And, it's because, I looked at Darth's success with Isidore and the Immortal Chains, and I felt like, as he told you, like the experiences he had here, he picked up some stuff. He certainly had a lot of his own gumption, a lot of his great ideas for building an email list, I might take that from him. Like, oh, a contest, yeah, to build your email list. Ingenious. That's a good idea. And it's really this whole kind of cross-pollination thing is what I was hoping to achieve, and it seems to be paying off. So his work is improving, and I'm looking forward to more people putting out some great books, because a year from now, there you go. A year from now, I want people to look at all the different ideas that got their start, kind of in and around, this space. And I want them to all say, and, these ideas all kind of panned out into different offerings, which had, different success levels, but still they all ended up, finding an audience and, getting somebody over the hump of making their first book. And, regardless of what happens or where people go, or if they ever talk to each other again, or they never do, I think the work we did here is good and valuable and beneficial for everybody. So I want to thank everybody for participating.
Yeah.
I would say, a lot of people got understanding, they got respect that the guy has a, bigger page, but he's allowed people to participate and, and introduce people to their ideas. You don't get a lot of that. A lot of people, when they tend to be up that mountain, they're busy looking down or looking up. So the guy allowed some people to, you can sit with me on the mountain, and he's even allowed people to give him criticism on the book, even after, Preston's had multiple successful books, the guy's still open, and, and I respect that. I thank you for that opportunity.
Fantastic. And by the way, I this whole role-playing thing, like I'm doing with Doug, like I'm realized, like, as I'm looking, I become enchanted with Steve Jackson games, because I'm a Texan. I'm back in Texas, damn it. And, like I just kind of like the system now. I was big into Pathfinder out in LA, but, now I'm kind of past that. And so now I'm trying GURPS Dungeon Fantasy and stuff. And I'm looking at the GURPS stuff, and I'm looking at the artwork. I'm like, this artwork is crap. And I'm like, you know what? Like, GURPS has, basically, it's somewhat like what I'm trying to do. They try and get different people to collaborate on different source books, where you just take like the rule system, you apply it to different areas. And I'm like, we could take the White Lily art, which blows this stuff away, and we could make a really cool source book for like the 415 Squadron at Stalingrad. And, then it could be a tie-in for the comic book. I could maybe sound like, but I don't necessarily have like the time to write it, but like the White Lily story's already written and the art's already made. So I'm thinking like, I could throw a gig to like Big Steve, who, I was talking with, and he had an accident, and he broke his ankle, a few weeks ago. So he's not exactly fully ambulatory. So, while you're there, like, if you want, you can, write a role-playing supplement, and I'll throw you a few $100s, and then, I'll sell that. And so there's a lot of opportunities that I want to get people involved in, if they're willing to put in the work. So, but I'm glad that you're all here. And let's see. Oh, wait. Let's see. The phrase, all right. The phrase never goes out of fashion. What does that mean? Oh, sorry. Treat people, because the new comment popped up. Treat people well on your way up, because you're going to need the same. Yeah, because you're going to need to meet the same ones on your way down. Exactly. So, I think this is going to be the start of a lot of interesting things, and I want to thank everybody for participating.
Yeah, thank you all. It was great getting to meet you. If any of you do have questions, you know where I'm at on Twitter. But yeah, I really enjoyed getting to know you guys and read your work and talk to you about it.
Awesome. All right. Well, 45 minutes worth of show. We got our announcement. I think next week we're going to get back to work. I'm going to start looking at. I should have some pages for Guinevere issue 5 because I'm going to start work on that, and I encourage everybody else to to either decide if they want to move forward with their different books on their own, or if they just want to keep submitting different stuff for evaluation and writing. And we'll next week Larry, I'm expecting you to come back here and say, all right, here are the artists we looked at, kind of look at the different styles, and we're going to make some budgeting decisions, because I want people out there who are watching us to see how we go about budgeting a project.
It's a tough thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, awesome. And there we go. So this has been Preston Poulter with Pocket Jacks Comics. I want to thank everybody for your time, and I want to thank all the contestants, and a hearty congratulations to Larry Holder, and another big congratulations to Darth Lungo for Isadora, who's doing great out there on Kickstarter. So lots of success everywhere, and I'm so happy to see it. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Goodbye. Have a good night.
Right,
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night.
Peace.
Everybody be easy.